Spatchcock Funk is in the house, our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need is the people you love, and we'll take care of the rest. Spatchcock Funk. Dope food, strong drinks, great stories. This is a love letter to our Southern brothers and sisters. There's something special about Southern hospitality. We've been blessed to get hit by it. Man, I felt it all the way in my plums. So it's time for us to return the favor by showing that love and being welcoming to old and new friends, because that's just how you do it. One of the best ways we can welcome people to the fold: some great food, a knockout drink, and a bumpin' party with the right people. Today, we're gonna go low to raise the people up. We're gonna celebrate new neighbors and bring people together. And we're doing it just like we were taught on those missions to Georgia, South Carolina, and all them states we love. We've thrown a true low country boil. And it's all about fresh seafood, some great cocktails, but really, it's about the people. So who you got? We're about hugs, mean mugs, and shoulder shrugs. And we're here to show you how to... Great shrimp, great toss too. Like I was saying, the best way to show hospitality to new friends or to convert your enemies is to throw something real proper like. So it's time to get low. This is Boiling Point. Y'all, you wanna have a great drink for a great party like a low country boil? This is how we do it. We have today Southpaw Punch. It's a honey lemonade drink, it's fantastic, and it's so named for a couple reasons. The first reason, because we're showing much love and respect to our brothers and sisters in the South. The second reason for the Southpaw name is yours truly is a Southpaw. And one of my favorite people to drink with, my father-in-law, may he rest in peace, once said to me the only thing that was really good about me was that I was a Southpaw, because he was a Koufax guy. But we had drinks anyways. So the first thing we're gonna make is the lemonade. For lemonade, the big key ingredient, lemons. So we juiced 9 lemons, and this is what we got out of it, about 1.5 cups. So squeeze them all in there, the pulp is fine, just scoop out the seeds. After that, we've got 1.5 cups of simple syrup. And what basically we're doing here, man, we're talking science, y'all. This is a chemistry experiment. When you make things like sugar, lemon, juice like that, it creates a perfect solution, so it suspends and it won't settle, which is pretty interesting. To make that happen though, you need cold water. So we've got 7 cups of ice cold water. Once we've got this all in there, shake it up. Just shake it, shake it, shake it. Eventually the color will be even all the way across, and you've got your homemade lemonade. Better than any ones you're gonna find in the store, and a lot cheaper too. We're gonna mix things up, y'all, and mix up this punch. And this punch delivers the punch too, because it's not for the faint of heart. We're taking that big old thing of lemonade we had, add that in. And then to make this really sweet and nice, we've got about 1.5 cups of honey simple syrup. All you gotta do, take a full bear of honey, 12 ounces, same amount of water, over medium heat, heat it up. And then you've got this perfectly distilled, gorgeous mixture. And finally, maybe the big star of the whole shebang, this hootenanny, is 3 cups of some good old Southern whiskey. After that, just stir it evenly, and we're moving on. We're ready to rock this thing. Got the base of our punch, this honey, lemony, sunny goodness. We go pretty high on it because we're trying to get pretty high here. And then just some club soda at the top. Give it a stir. You know how we like to stir it up. Then we garnish it with a cherry. That's some low down dirty fun. Southpaw Punch. All right, y'all, you're doing a cookout low country boils, barbecues. You got that smoky, hot, spicy flavor. You want something to cut it, right? With some acidity, some cool, chill parts to it. And for us, it's a tomato cucumber salad. Now, when we were talking about this before, Alex was like, dude, don't make anything basic. So he challenged us to make something a little bit extra, and that's where we're going. So this is roasted tomato cucumber salad, and it gets pretty naughty. Where we start, though, is we've got a bunch of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, yellows and reds. And some of them, by the way, the yellows are from my garden. But here's a quick hack that we love. You want to cut things faster. Take 2 dinner plates. Take some of your Toms, put them out here. Get a nice and flat little layer like that. You might lose a couple down the side, so just eat them. Another dinner plate, the flat side and the bottom. Little teeny bit of pressure, serrated knife. And just like that, you're getting 20 done at a time. So, you've got those ready. Take them into a mixing bowl. And we're dividing our tomatoes almost in half. 3/4 of our 2 pounds of tomatoes, we're gonna separate from the other part of it. Then we're gonna take about a 1/4 cup, a little bit more, maybe close to a 1/2 cup of olive oil and a 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup and mix it all together. As it cooks and roasts, it's gonna caramelize and create this really sweet, really cool thing. We're also gonna throw in a little bit of salt, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon. Then we're gonna stir it up. Take a cookie sheet, preheat that oven, man. Warm it up like I warm up a crowd to 350, and then spread it evenly across your cookie sheet. And don't worry, there's oil in here, so it won't stick. And you're gonna go for about a 1/2 hour, maybe 35 minutes, and see until it starts to caramelize and get brown on the edges. If they seem like they're really roasted, you're gonna be okay with that. So let's put them in the oven. Look at these caramelized, beautiful, amazing tomatoes, man. It adds this other sugary, beautiful element to it that just changes things up. So we got the rest of our chopped up tomatoes. We're gonna mix those in there. Then we've got maybe a 1/4 cup of diced red onion. Whenever we're using any raw onions, we go with the red. Then we've got 3/4 to a cup maybe of quartered seedless cucumbers. After that, we've got a little bit of really nicely chopped basil, salt and pepper to taste. And then we pop in bottles, y'all. We got a tablespoon or 2, in this case 2, of champagne vinegar, 1/2 cup of crumbled goat cheese. This is what really brings it together. Some creaminess, a little bit of niceness with that vinegar pop. Just mix it up. And not only does it taste awesome, it looks great too. So this chilled on a plate next to something hot, some ribs, some shrimp. You got the right mix-ins for a party. Let's see how we did. A salad like this, you don't need anything else. We're keeping it local, y'all, like we like to. Now, for a low country boil, we're headed to the country to get some sweet corn. Really brings everything together doing it right.
Hey man, Alex, nice to meet you.
Alex, I'm Travis.
Travis and Matt.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Nice to meet you too, bro. So we're throwing a low country boil. We got the seafood, we got all the fixings, but we need some of that good sweet corn.
And this is where you came for sweet corn?
Yeah.
But that's cow corn, Matt.
Cow corn, dude.
How was I supposed to know? Listen, is that a corn maze?
It is a corn maze.
That's why we came here. Matt's afraid of corn mazes. It just was meant to be.
Is that because the corn's so much taller than you, Matt, or is it?
He'd be afraid of everything if that was the case.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm not afraid of corn mazes, and it's not that, but sometimes ghosts might be there, and I don't mess with ghosts, they don't mess with me. We got an
Daytime,
arrangement.
Dude.
Ghosts are cool in daytime.
Yeah, what do you think is gonna happen? You want to race?
2 go in, 1 comes out.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out in a little bit. Just look for him over the weekend.
I don't
Make sure
know.
he gets out safe.
It's 3 acres. You might be in there for a while.
Oh man, 3 acres? That sounds big.
Do you know how big an acre is?
Not a clue, but I'm ready to check it out.
Okay.
We'll find you
do it.
Monday.
Awesome.
It's fine.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right.
There's the entrance, dude. You ready?
Let's do it.
Give you a 10-second head start.
I'll take it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Got to run faster than that. 9, 10. Coming for you. Matt. Matt.
The star of this party, besides our awesome guests and our peeps in the South, is the Low Country Boil, AKA Frogmore Stew. And we're gonna make it right now. So we've got some water in here already going a little bit, a couple quarts of it. We're gonna throw in 2 12-ounce beers. Next, we're gonna add in a whole giant bulb of elephant garlic, which is basically just giant garlic, a little bit sweeter. It's kind of nice. We're also gonna put in a couple shallots that we poked holes in, get some of that flavor in there. Some black pepper, cayenne pepper, paprika, garlic salt, garlic and onion powder, some smoked paprika, Old Bay, some seasoned salt. We're gonna add in also about a ½ cup of chopped parsley, just basically a handful. We can go as high as a cup though, because it's just nice for the color. We've got 1 bunch of green onions. And then also, our friend Sherry taught us this. She's lived around the world. We're also adding some must go. That stuff in your fridge, everything must go. It's been there too long. So we had some chives, some oregano, a little bit of basil, a couple of green onion stems. So we're gonna put that in there and let this thing boil for about 5 minutes, get some flavor in there. And also too, we also believe as a cooking tool, everyone should own a paddle. It's great for canoeing. It's great for keeping people in line, like on our crew or in my house. JK, we're not justifying that. But it works awesome and it looks awesome. Got our boil boiling. Now we're gonna add in 5 pounds of red creamer potatoes that we've cut in half, but you can use salt potatoes, you can use Yukon Golds if they're baby ones. We're gonna put that in there. And then you know how we get down. Sometimes we enjoy a sausage party, and we got some smoked sausage here, 3 pounds of rope sausage cut up. Bring it back to a boil and let that go for 10 minutes. The next thing, man, we're gonna get corny a little bit, but we've got 8 ears of sweet corn that we've cut off the pointy end and cut into thirds. And I gotta tell you, man, like I don't know about you, but shucking corn is a pain, and I painstakingly shucked all this corn. So that's gonna go in for 5 minutes. The most important part of a seafood boil, the seafood, y'all. And you can do different things in it. People use scallops, crabs, all those things, but we're going shrimp, obviously, and we're also gonna use some mussels. So we've got about 50 mussels. We're gonna put in here. We're gonna go for about 3, maybe 4 minutes and bring it back to a boil temperature-wise, and then add in the shrimp. Now comes the shrimp, the important part. So what we got are U13 to 16 shrimp, meaning there's under 13 or 16 to get in a pound. That's the size we want, no different sizes than that. But also too, you'll notice we're leaving the shell on here. We shelled them, drew a line in the back to pull the poop out of the back of it, but we leave the shells on because it adds more flavor to the potatoes and everything else that's in there. So shells and shrimp heads can be useful when it adds flavor. Now we don't scrimp on the shrimp. We got 4 pounds of shrimp that's going in here because everybody gets a bite of this. Let this go for 5 minutes and then check on it. When the shrimp is pink and looking great, then you're good to go. But 5 minutes should be good. Y'all, we're at that point, the boiling point. Let's see how we did with this awesome shrimp. Just make sure we're making sure everybody's safe and healthy. Yeah, that's ready to go. At the party, we're gonna drag this across a newspaper lined table and it's gonna jump. For some northerners, you might want to drizzle some butter, some other flavors on that, but man, this is ready to go and ready to rock. Yo, you want to round out a killer party? You need a baller dessert. And coming straight from this great state of Georgia, we're making Georgia peach cobbler. And this is a recipe my dad taught me, y'all, using some canned peaches, which is great, but we're also gonna top it with something that just gets real naughty, and we love it. This is gonna be whiskey whipped cream. So the first thing you wanna do when you're getting all cold and chill with it is put your metal bowl in the freezer for at least 20 minutes. Also, the beaters, put those in the freezer too. Finally, your heavy cream, that's gotta be really cold, so put that in the freezer for at least 5-10 minutes. But we're gonna take 2 pints Put that right in there. Any basic whipped cream, heavy cream, and powdered confectioner's sugar. This is a cup, so we're gonna take this and whip it until we start seeing some stiff peaks form. Yeah, now we've got some your basic whipped cream, but you know we don't go basic. So we're gonna put in about a teaspoon, maybe 2 of some vanilla extract. This our friend made for us, which is awesome. To get the whiskey going up in this thing, we're gonna put in about a 1/4 cup, some good old Southern whiskey, and then a pinch of salt. And then keep mixing it again. Now we beat it real good. Go extra heavy. We want a little bit thicker. So it's gonna be on top of some hot stuff and that's gonna melt. I mean, I put it on hot stuff sometimes too when the wife gets home from work. But let me tell you though, you wanna taste as you go. And for me as a kid and even as an adult, nothing made me happier than my mom teaching me to cook and then handing me one of these things. So this is how we usually taste it. So my dad taught me this in the Boy Scouts, and he would get a bunch of these animals running around, climbing trees, doing what they do when they're in the Boy Scouts, and somehow found a way to make this dessert that pleased everybody that was easy, so we could keep an eye on people and get it down. So our boy Kevin helped us perfect this thing, and we're gonna show you how to do it now. To start out, the basic ingredients, we got a box of white cake mix, and this works really well because it just cooks evenly, you don't have to measure anything out. And we got a big old jar of peaches. And first, we're gonna pour some of the peach liquid that we can into that cake mix, just a little bit to get some of the liquid in there, and you'll feel it start to fill up. And don't worry if you get a peach or 2 in there. After that, dump the peaches in your Dutch oven, and then take this cake mix, kind of squish it around, get that evenly mixed. And this is gonna prevent liquid from forming and getting too watery in it. Not watery, the flavor will still be good, but it'll allow more robustness and respect the integrity of the cake mix. And we all about integrity up in this thing. We're gonna put that on there. Squeeze it all out. Then from there, I'm gonna take some vanilla. And we like to go heavy in the vanilla. Vanilla actually is more for the smell than the flavor, but can't go wrong with it. Some cinnamon sprinkled across the top. Then at least 1 stick of butter, because let's face it, you can't go wrong with butter. We're gonna cut it into tabs and then dot it all across. Now this is oven ready, y'all. We're gonna make sure that it goes in 350 degrees for 50 minutes is the goal, but check it at 40 and golden brown, well, you'll know it's done. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it that we like to do when we're outdoors for a shrimp boil, other parties, is to use charcoal. So what you do is take the charcoal, get it perfectly white hot warm, and then make a checkerboard pattern. So open space, charcoal, open space, charcoal. This allows wind to come through and keep feeding the heat. Then put your top on and throw 4 or 5 charcoal briquettes on it. That's gonna be about 35 minutes. Yo, I get my peaches down from Georgia. Look at this cobbler. Beautiful, got the cinnamon, the butter, all gooey and good, and the cake's just fluffed right up. Let's make ourselves, we'll taste and see how we do. Look at this, all this cakey goodness. Peaches, got that steam coming. Yeah. So you know how we do. Make things a little extra special for all y'all. Got that whiskey whipped cream. And we made a lot of it because we ain't shy. Yo, like a southpaw, using my left hand, I'm diving in. Now that's a dessert that's ready to party. Y'all remember your first time?
Well, mine was kind of special. It was in Italy with
Italy?
my Italian, also a virgin boyfriend. I was an exchange student.
Your first low country boil.
Oh, those are not the words I would use to describe anything.
It sounds like it was memorable though.
Well, believe it or not, it's my first time.
Oh yeah, baby. Because we like taking food virginity here at Spatchcock Funk. But it's funny because you're like a super adventurous eater and partier, so I'm glad that we get to do this together tonight. Let me tell you about a time though that it did not go down together the way I wanted it to. It was my first like big boy wedding, and I have a suit on, and I'm in South Carolina, the mighty Palmetto State. And I get there, it's like a beachfront wedding, like everybody's in seersucker, and I meet this.
Were you the sucker?
I ended up being the sucker at the end of the night. So like cocktail hour is rolling around, and I meet this young woman who happens to be from the great state of South Carolina. So we're making small talk and everything, and she's like, we should catch up later. So we have a drink as we're talking, and then we sit down, and I see the menus come out, and they have this thing on it called Frogmore Stew. And I'm like, what?
Frogmore stew.
Frogmore
So wait,
stew.
like you're just looking at this frog dish and you're intrigued by frog, like
Super
based
intrigued.
on what?
Well, a couple things. One, Frogmore stew sounds like when I have frog legs. I like both frogs and legs, so that's a good fit for that. And I'm like, this could be good.
You're trying to be adventurous.
Yeah, I mean,
Impressive
you know,
lady.
trying to
Yeah, this
explore,
lady's like,
experiment.
this
I'm
man
young.
likes my legs and the frog's legs.
Yeah, and maybe she's into that. Who knows,
Yeah,
right?
ribbit. Let's go.
So they bring out the food, and they bring out these dudes in carrying these cauldrons with white gloves on.
Ooh,
and
got
this-
very Harry Potter just there.
Yeah, there's floating candles and everything. So the table's all laid out with newspapers, even though they're dressed up, and they just drain these big cauldrons across shrimp, crab, everything everywhere, and I'm like in my glory.
The best.
I feel like my OCD is not handling the story well because I feel like you did say they just dumped on the table. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah. That's
There's
how we're
no-
doing it today too.
Like
What?
there's no plate.
I mean, they tie your hands behind your back, and you basically like.
Wait, did
it's
this
like you're
happen
in a
in
trough.
prison?
Wait, do we get bibs?
You definitely get no bibs, no
no
bibs.
bibs.
You
Lobster
messy
people get
and you live with
bibs.
it. These aren't lobsters, dude. This is low country boil.
Okay,
We're
I
running
feel
it.
like the Low Country is indicating to me that we're going to like get down with it or something.
We are going to get down, we're going to get low. And that was my goal that night, right? But it didn't exactly work out that way. So I'm like mesmerized by this low country boil. So I'm just like hammering this food. And then people are going up getting seconds. I'm on like my fourth plate. So
Which is very attractive to this woman you're trying to.
Well,
she's
so
like 4 plates, hell yeah.
at this point I thought the chances are over, right? So I'm sitting there like picking myself out. My now white dress shirt is covered with like shrimp
you
and
didn't have a
everything.
bib.
No bibs.
No bibs.
And she comes over and she's like, you want to dance? And I'm like, yeah, let me just finish this. And she like drapes off, clearly not happy with that answer.
I would be like, that's the guy. Text your friends right now, selfie now.
Totally.
I would be like,
Selfie.
Get fitted for
Were there cell phones
bridesmaids.
back then?
Yeah, were
there
there
were not
cell
cell phones back then. There were phones at least.
I mean, because you have to take a picture of food being dumped on a table, like straight up raw on a table.
Oh yeah, and it was awesome. Like there's a picture of me with the food. Like that was the picture that I'm always gonna remember. But end of the night, right? We were in the
Were you just
after
like
party.
wakeboarding through the shrimp?
I was like running full speed and just belly flopping all the way down. I was in my glory, like doing like snow angels in it and everything.
It's no wonder that she doesn't want to date you.
Well, I see her at the after party and I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, you smell like shrimp. I'm like, I know, isn't it awesome? It turns out it was not awesome. So,
Nobody wants anybody to smell like low tide.
Yeah, I mean, my dating experience is not that expansive, but I do know when I smell someone that smells like fish, hard pass.
You know what? I like the smell of fish, and I like the smell of food and good people, and I like y'all because y'all are good people.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Better
Cheers
luck
to y'all.
next time, though.
Yeah. Hopefully there's not one. We got them friends in low places, and we about making people feel the love even if we just met them. Like Will Giarda, unreasonable hospitality is what we're all about. Making people feel like they're home even when they're not. We want to make people feel valued and respected, so make sure you're about that too. We got some things to do, so here's a tip.
Hey, you ready to lose?
All right, I gotta go. Whether you're just with them or not, throw it down for your people. Let's get low.
We are warriors, we